Hey you guys, this is Superstar0717. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys my updated Werewolf deck profile post DKA. So the deck profile has a little bit of a couple changes. You'll see that I'm running some cards that I wasn't running before, and I'm going to go ahead and explain why and why I did take out some cards. So the first card that we're running 4 Young Wolf. You can see right there on the left, Young Wolf is a 1/1 for 1 green. And he has the effect Undying. If you don't know what the Undying mechanic is, whenever the creature dies, if it had no +1/1 counters on it, it returns to the battlefield with a +1/1 counter. So you can get in there for a couple hits and then turn into a 2/2 that's pumped by your Immerwolf and by your flipped Mayor. And he just snowballs, and he's a pretty good drop. I like him a little bit more than Reckless Waif, along with Wolfbitten Captive. And I think he's a little bit more stable of a 1-drop. Almost similar to a pseudo Doom Traveler-esque effect, and so he has put in a lot of work for me, and I really like his Undying effect. Worst case scenario, I mean, you can even play defensive with him and block 2, a 1/1 and a 2/2, and he still gets in a lot of work. So the next card we're running is 4 Wolfbitten Captives. Now, a lot of people are on the fence about this card, but I do believe that he is a really, really good card. He's a 1/1 that can become a 6/6, a 1-drop that he's a 1-drop that can become a potential 6/6. He's just such a good card. Like, I don't see why people don't like him. Waif was so dependent on your opponent not dropping a card, whereas this guy, he can still operate pretty effectively on his own. If you don't have, say, Full Moon's Rise to drop or Mayor of Avabruck to drop, he can still get the job done by himself, and I like him a lot better. He's a little bit more stable for me. And so the next card they're running, still 4 Mayor of Avabruck. Pretty self-explanatory. Pumps tokens, things like that. And, you know, he's just a pretty much auto 4-up. Now, you'll see that I upped the number of Daybreak Rangers to 3. In my testing, when you have a board of Mayor, Daybreak, Immerwolf, and maybe like an Instigator or a Huntmaster, Daybreak Ranger really just, like I said in the last video, just is free to do whatever it wants. They're not going to waste an O-ring on a Daybreak Ranger. They're going to waste the O-ring on the Immerwolf or the Mayor or something like that. And so Daybreak Ranger really just puts in a lot of work in this deck. And with also on the human side, more flyers that are under 2/2 at least are in the format, such as those spirit tokens. And so he does put in a lot of work getting rid of those and keeping your deck a little bit more stable. And so 3 of those, I'm not going to go to 4, at least I don't want to. But right now, 2 is really good, so I bumped it up to 3 and dropped some other cards. So the next card is 4 Immerwolf. His abilities are just broken. A lot of times he's one of the cards that wins games with his Intimidate. Just because if they can't block him, say like in a tokens deck when they haven't cracked their Shrine of Loyal Legions, it really forces them to crack it early and get those tokens to block it, because if not, then they're just going to take, 2, 4, 5 damage each turn from him. So he's a good card, makes your Werewolf not flip, and so auto 4 pretty much, and he's a Lord effect, so that's always good, and he also pumps up your Young Wolf. And so with that being said, we're going to 4 Huntmaster of the Fells. I know in the last video I said that he was good and that I didn't really want to run him, and that I wanted to stay more of a consistency. And I did test it for a while, and I, got curious, so I added in 1, then 2, then 3. And right now we're at 4. I haven't done too much testing with 4, but he did really good at 3, so I'll bump him up to 4. And with that being said, he's really, he's not a broken card per se. It's just whenever you drop him and you get that 2/2 wolf token that's usually boosted by either an Immerwolf or a Mare that's flipped, it really becomes like a 4/4 token, and he's a 4/4, and it's just good. Like, with Huntmaster, when he flips, he burns your opponent for that 2 life, and he knocks out a creature, and when he flips back, he gets a token, and even if Immerwolf on the field, and he stays as a 5/4 trampler, or 5/5 trampler, that's still pretty good. And actually, I kind of underestimated his gain 2 life effect. That actually really helped me out in a bunch of games. And, honestly, this card is good. I've seen prices go up a little bit. They're kind of steady right now. But if you see him for anywhere under, like, 14, 13 bucks, I would go ahead and pick him up. He's a pretty good card. He's gotten me out of a lot of tough spaces. Let's say I had like a pretty bad board, maybe like a young wolf with the 1/1 counter, drop this, and now I have 3 creatures to block with. You know, I like him a lot. He's pretty good. Honestly, a lot better than I thought he would have been. So for the next card, we're running Instigator Gang. Real tried and true card. Basically, this card just like, with Overrun and this card flip, your opponent just scoops. Like, it's ridiculous how fast they scoop. Because all of your attacking creatures are getting the +3/0 from him, getting the +3/3 from Overrun, and they have Trample, and they get the bonuses from like FMR, Mayor of Avabruck, and Immerwolf, and it's just ridiculous how easily this card ends games. Now, with that being said, I am running 7 4-drops. Now, that seems like a lot, but I'll explain why in a second when I show you some of the different graphs that this program uses. You'll see I'm using Magic the Gathering Deck Builder, and I really like this program. It's really good. You can even test with it right here. That's something for another discussion. But Instigator Gang is good. I might drop him to 2, but right now I'm going to keep him at 3. I like him at 3 right now. Basically, I say like every game I see at least one Instigator Gang, and he's a good drop, especially with a Moonmist in your hand and an Immerwolf on the field, because you can just rape so hard. It's ridiculous how good this card is. You'll see in my monster lineup, or my creature lineup, excuse me, I dropped Kroon's Outlaw, and with Kroon's Outlaw, while it was a good card, you'll see right here, the double red really killed it for me. You'll see my deck in a second, the graph. I'm running so much green. You'll see the only cards that actually require red are Immerwolf, Huntmaster, Instigator, and Brimstone Volley. And with that being said, the double red was too much of a mana requirement on the red part to be able to effectively drop him turn 3 every time. And you'll see Overrun, a card that needs 5, 3 of which being green, really taking up a bunch of my mana to drop it consistently on turn 5 whenever I have my field set up. That I just couldn't reliably run her and Overrun, and I feel that while Kroon does win games, if you have a nice board set up, Overrun will win you the game on that turn, whereas Kroon's you gotta wait a couple turns for her to attack and do whatever and flip. Overrun just wins games a little bit faster for me. And that's what this deck is all about for me right now. So you'll see I drop Moonmist from 4 to 2, and if you look at the creature lineup, I'm running 8 wolves that are 8 creatures that are unaffected by it. And so with 26 creatures, if I'm running 8, that's a good chance that whenever I have a Moonmist in hand, I won't have a nice enough board set up with enough creatures that'll be able to benefit from it. That it really just kind of, you know, I drop it to 3, and I would still see it too often at 2. It serves the same purpose as Overrun. It's just more of a finisher. Right now, a lot of my cards that are both in human and werewolf form each have really nice effects. And get some pretty good utility out of those effects, where it's not necessarily crucial, absolutely crucial like it was in the last set, that I need to be in werewolf form to operate. And so Moonmist is a 2 of now. I might up it to 3, but right now I'm kind of happy with Moonmist at 2, the way it's been testing. So you'll see I added back in Brimstone Volley. Brimstone Volley is a really, really good card. I like it because it, like, whenever you're playing, you can, you know, sack a token or whatever, or do something like that, and then hit him for 5, and then with Overrun and all the different pumps you have, and this guy hitting him for 2 damage, that 5 damage is like ridiculously good, because it puts them, if they're at 20, they go to 15, then this guy flips, they go to 13. With Overrun, all you need is 2 or 3 good creatures to get in there with Trample to just win the game, and I'm considering running Brimstone at 3, but I like it at 2 right now. It's there when I need it, and it's not there when I don't. And so this card is just only activated for the Morbid, and it is just amazing. And just hit him in the face with it. It's just so good. So moving forward, I have Overrun. This is my finisher card, similar to the Jerza style tokens. Just drop this and pretty much win the game. You have pumps from this guy can give a pump to himself. This guy pumps everybody. This guy pumps everybody. This guy super pumps everybody. This super pumps everybody. And this pumps everybody. So all the pumps that you have going on in the deck, your creatures become pretty good and pretty strong really fast. And so Overrun really just gives you that extra oomph to kind of win the game in one turn. I did replace, Triumph of the Hordes with Overrun, because it is easy to reach 10 poison in one turn, but it's not 100% guaranteed. And if you don't, you're pretty much waiting for your next Triumph of the Hordes to really, finish them off. With this one, you're building up constant damage every turn. When you drop this, if you don't make it, let's say that they chump block everything and they still survive, you still have a good chance you're going to get in there with a Brimstone Volley or, any one of these guys or a flip of that to get them, to win the game. And so with that being said, I put Overrun in instead of Triumph of the Hordes. The triple green was a little bit harder to meet, but I did change the mana base to reflect that. So we're going right here to the enchantments. I'm running 4 Full Moon's Rise. Absolutely a staple with this type. Whenever Werewolf was first introduced, I didn't like it. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Slowly I started adding 1, 2, 3, and with this new set, with all the werewolves that you're getting, 4 Full Moon's Rise is just excellent. With the format shifting from mass removal, or from spot removal to mass removal, this card gets a lot more work. Before you were sacking it just to save a Mayor, now you're sacking it to save like a Mayor, a Captive, a Ranger, and a Huntmaster. And it lets you go a lot more aggro. And it's good to have 2 or 3 of these on the board. They're +1 stack, and you can sack them when you need them. And so, with that being said, I run 4 of those. You'll see my land. I'm still running 24. I'm running 4 Copperlines, 4 Rootbound, 6 Mountains, and 10 Forests. You'll see I still have no Kessig Wolfrun. That's just to help reach the turn 1 drop on these guys, and B, the triple Overrun, the triple green Overrun cost. And I didn't want to run the Kessig Wolfrun because if I run the Kessig Wolfrun, I'd probably drop this to 9 and this to 5, and then I wouldn't feel comfortable running the 2 gold cards, and being able to reliably use his flip side, his fight mechanic. And so with that being said, I went ahead and got 10 and 6. It's working out extremely well. I almost always am able to drop a turn 1 Wolfbitten Captive or Young Wolf. And so I like that a lot. Changes to the deck that I'd like to make is maybe I'd like to add in 2 or 3 Reckless Wave, just to give me a better stream of 1-drops. But the deck would have to change quite a bit, so if you guys see anything that's a glaring change that you would make. I've seen some people completely drop Moonmist in their build, and I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I do see how it works, how the deck does work without Moonmist, and I've tried it before and it works. But, going in, with a new format, with a lot of cards that can do a lot of damage, I want to keep Moonmist in at 2 at the bare minimum, and then slowly drop it maybe to 0 to fit in the waves. But let's go right here to the stats view. You'll see my mana curve. I have 8 1-drops, 10 2-drops, 9 3-drops, 7 4-drops, and 2 5-drops, and those are my overruns. The deck curves out really nicely. You'll see right here this beautiful curve that it makes, with 2-drops being mostly your FMRs and your Mayor of Avabrucks and whatnot. And this just curves out beautifully. I'm running I'm running 7 4-drops just so that I can consistently drop them on turn 4, assuming that I hit all my land drops. And it's worked out perfectly. Onto the color distribution, you'll see that 64% of the graph is green, with 15% being red. The only red cards, like I said, that are pure red should be, let's go back over here, should be just that and that, the Brimstone Volley and the Instigator Gang. And that's been testing out really good for me. And I have the 8 cards that do require some red, so a total of 13 cards that require some form of red. And you'll see right here I have 35 Forest and 13 Mountains. For the breakdown, I'm running 43% creatures at 26, 40% land at 24, 4 enchantments, which is 7% of my deck, and 4 instants. And I don't know what this sliver means, but it doesn't say, so let's just forget it's there. These are just some averages. Let's go ahead and sort by percent of what I should be opening up with. I have a 75% chance of opening up with a mountain, which is awesome. You'll see the chances fall between Moonmist and Overrun at 22.1%, and Brimstone Volley, which is exactly what I wanted. I don't want them in my opening hand. I want them to kind of draw into them late game. You'll see that this is the same thing, and usually I'll draw into these by turn 4 or 5, and then be able to drop them and pretty much win the game. And so with that being said, that's pretty much the deck. That's pretty much everything that is on here. I'm using QuickTime to record this, and so if you guys like this style, let me know. I'll probably put like a text version of this in below. So you guys can copy and paste that and use that for testing and proxying purposes. And I think that's pretty much it. That's my deck right now. Like I said, I don't like the double casted wolf run just because I believe it takes away from the possibility of a turn 1 young wolf or wolf-bitten captive. So you have that in your hand in a mountain. You'll be really pissed off when you're not able to drop your young wolf, your captive, your Moonmist if you wanted, like if you needed to, your mayor, etc., turn 2. Whereas the extra forests give you that option to drop everything pretty handily. So that's it for the deck. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate all you subscribers out there. Let me know if there's anything you would change, and we'll go ahead and take that moving forward. So thanks for watching, guys.